This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good to see everybody back at it again. So I'll call us to order here at 5:33 and entertain a motion to approve our minutes from November 1st of 2021.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Poisson. Is there a second?
I'll second, Dan.
Second, Bob DiLorenzo.
All right. Thanks, Danny. Got you in there before Bob. All right. Are there any corrections, comments, questions, concerns related to the minutes? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
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 Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. That'll bring us to item 3, our town council update. Take it away, Councilman Poisson.
Everything's, there hasn't been much going through the town council. Everything's fine. Knock on wood.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm sure we'll be having more interactions and communication as we start getting further down the road with finalizing things and then moving through closeout. Under item 4 for project financial update, I know that not too long ago, Chris sent out an email to all of us saying that the budget's in the process of getting worked on and will be finalized shortly. Just want to let Chris and Doug know there's no need to wait until the next meeting. If that gets finalized and is a position to be issued, we can go ahead and send that out as a sort of standalone document in the interim. So that having been said, Doug, I'll let you kind of make some comments under the project financial update.
So we've been working with the team, Dawn, Tim, Lisa, everybody, in trying to get our arms around everything that has transpired through the life cycle of this project, making sure that everything that has been invoiced is been captured. And with all of that going on, it's taking a bit more. So we will finalize this and get it out to everybody. I just wanted to make sure that we were not sending something out that was incorrect or that would create a whole bunch of questions. So we felt it'd be better to make sure that we got our ducks in a row before we presented. Chris will present, and if this is the appropriate time to kind of give you an update on, or is that going to be new business on the next steps? Because I know that's a topic that everybody's interested in understanding so that we can close this job out. Is this the time to do that, Alan, or do you want to?
Yeah, Doug. That's actually the next item on the agenda is letter 5 under project closeout update. So I'll just let you roll right into that and keep us moving along here. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to hand it off to Chris Fields. So Chris Fields is one of our project managers. So I'm the director of construction and facilities for CREC. So I'm unable to put 100% of my attention into this project, but Chris has been. So this is so Chris and I have been working together on capturing all this data, and I'm going to hand it off to him so he can brief you on where we are. Go ahead, Chris.
Good evening, everyone. As Doug said, my name's Chris Fields. I'm new to the project as of November, and I've been working with pretty much every office involved since then in getting my arms around and up to speed on everything that's transpired, so that way I can help set us up for success as we prepare to end this project and then go into audit. First thing I'd like to address is the financial update that is on my shoulders. There is about 2 or 3 items specifically that I was not able to finalize before the meeting, and I anticipate that hopefully being in the next week. I did not want to provide incomplete information so that way there was room for question coming into the meeting or coming out of this meeting. That said, what I can present right now is the owner's contingency is sitting at $740,249. Again, that's $740,249. And that number will also be a part of the presentation once the budget is finalized after I resolve these 2 to 3 outstanding issues and be able to provide that hopefully next week. Along with that, yes, go ahead.
Excuse me, Chairman. I'm sorry to interrupt. This is Aileen Marsh, Secretary. There's a caller 7. Can I just ask, please, who has called in? Is that a member of the public or is it a member of the committee?
This is Dan Wakeling. I called in. I don't know if that was me.
Yep, that's you. All right, thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt
You're
you.
welcome.
That's all right, Aileen. Thanks for keeping us clean administratively. All right, Chris, go ahead and kind of continue along.
All right. To continue on with the coming out of the financial update and going into the closeout and then into change orders and new business, there is a list of, I'll start at the highest level just to give us a snapshot of what's going to happen in our near and midterm future, and then we can dive down into each of the issues. I don't think it'll take that long. Most of it's outlined in the agenda. Backwards planning, it looks like we should be in good position to close out the project in the July to August timeframe. That said, that's based off of many conversations with our contractors and architect and understanding the subs position and getting material and delays that we're all used to. We're looking at some final items being delivered around the May timeframe and installed in the June timeframe, which does set us up for the July or August closeout. And backwards planning from there is not just the budget, but also capturing all of the open items. A short list here are, there are nets still yet to be delivered. Those are actually, the poles for those will be May and then the nets in June. There are doors, there are benches, there are louvers. There's a few other open items that are not done yet. And with that, there's some of them that still have to be addressed in the March meeting that are not on this agenda that are going to be, they were a part of the project, they were approved, but they're also going to reflect against the budget as well. So I think one of them was it Ken? Did we talk about batting cages?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's open items like that I've been spending time with many people, wrapping my arms around. One of them that we'll talk about later is Project Adventure, trying to figure out how all of this was integrated and how all of it's going to be balanced against the budget and then the scheduling of everything as well.
Hey, Chris,
So,
it's Dan Semp. Can you provide us with a punch list and just send out an email to us with a punch list of all the items that you're discussing?
Sure, I can. Yeah, I've been working with our architect and our contractor as well as a few other members of the school and the town board on items that are outstanding. Let me compile those lists and I'll get them out this week. I'll just make a note of that right now.
Thank you.
And Chris, I'd like to piggyback off of Mr. Senf and just ask a question. And this is Bob DiLorenzo. My question is we're going on about, I don't know, 6-7 years of this project. So I'd like, when you say July, I'd like to know the length of what's going on. I kind of had thought it was in the 2-3 month range, but with it going out to July, if you can lay that out a little more, that'd be helpful.
Sure. I thought it was going to be in the 2 to 3 month range as well until I learned of scheduling for delivery of supplies and then scheduling of final installation of specifically the nets. That's the only item that I know that is forecasted out into the May and June timeframe, as I laid out earlier. Other than that, it looks like we have time to complete everything in the next 2 to 3 months. If we're able to get those nets delivered and installed sooner, then we could potentially look at closeout sooner. However, at this time during this meeting, we're looking at the July-August timeframe, and that is due to scheduling of products being delivered and installed.
No, and I absolutely understand that, and I appreciate everything. But being my 5th year on this call, the change orders seem to come fast and furious. So I'm just trying to figure out things for myself and, probably the rest of the people on the board as well.
I totally understand, and I agree with you that the change orders do come fast and furious, and as we come to closeout, that can become tense for everybody. What I will say is the change orders is actually the top item of the very short list of things that I'm working on the finance budget update that I was not able to finalize before the meeting. We did receive some responses from the state and the change orders. However, there is one change order outstanding, and there's a few other items that I have to balance against the owner's contingency, such as the outstanding items before closeout, and I was not ready to present that tonight. So from a financial update, I hope to have that again later this week, but as far as a punch list items of actual work to complete, I could have that sooner.
And I'd like to jump in real quick and address, Bob, what you're talking about. So when Paul left, what we needed to do was dig into where we are, what is remaining, and then we were getting all kinds of questions that we didn't have the answers to at that time. So as we've dug into this and worked with Turner and Antonazzi, we understood that there are some items that are still outstanding. There's some doors that have to be replaced. There's some louvers that need to be put in place. There's the netting. So those were long lead items. The longest lead item is the netting. So before, and then also we thought that we were done with the state change order reviews, and we found out from Turner that there's actually one more change order that's going to have to go before the state, and then that's got to be reviewed. Fortunately, we worked with Paul and the state to start that review process about a year ago. So we're really ahead of the power curve, and we've got all of the state change orders have been reviewed to date, except this last one that hasn't been submitted yet. So what we're dealing with is we can't move this forward to request an exception from, acceptance of the project until those final punch list items are done. Once that's done, as well as that final state change order goes in and gets reviewed and comes back, at that time is when we're able to actually come to the board and say, all right, we're ready to request that a letter be drafted to accept this project as complete, and we're not quite there. We thought maybe when we first got into this that it might be a February, March timeframe, but from working with Tim and Turner, we understand that there still is a few items that are outstanding. So back in December, we came and sat down with the whole team, not everybody on this call, but a lot of the end users and a lot of the members of the team. And there was a punch list that was presented, and we went through it line by line. At the time, we had our commissioning agent there, and we addressed a number of those issues right there on the spot. And then Turner came back and handled most of the outstanding items that were left that they were able to handle that weren't tied to the long lead, like the netting and the louvers and the door frames. So we got a pretty good understanding of what's remaining. And we're almost there, Bob. It's just, unfortunately, that, go ahead.
Well, sure. And look, I totally understand that. And, coming from the Board of Education, and I don't like to look back on things, it's, we've had, 5 CFOs in 4 years in the board. And although it's different, at this point, I've been here on this call for 5 years, and we've had some people come and go on your end. So, tightening up things in terms of cost of money for our town is really critical. And, again, I hate to beleaguer the point, but the bottom line is, the money is what the money is. And if it keeps coming in, change orders, then, obviously, as a person on this board, I have to question it, unfortunately. So.
And I understand. And Bob, the state change orders that are produced and submitted to the state were reviewed by the state and determine what is in that change order is considered eligible and what is ineligible. We didn't get that total until December. And so now we're reconciling what they considered eligible and what they considered ineligible, and we need to present that to you. We're just not quite there yet because Turner hasn't submitted their final change order. And I'm not sure what's in that final change order. And Tim will present that to us, and we'll present that to you all before it goes to the state.
Mr. Chairman, can we move on? We're just going in circles here over and over again. Can we move on?
Sure.
Yep.
Great.
Understood, Councilman Foysan. All right. So under item 6 is going to be our one change order amendment item, and that is the WB Mason invoice as listed on the agenda. Doug, you want to kind of take us through this?
Oh, Chris has got that.
Okay, Chris, continue.
The change order for WB Mason, as well as the items under the new business, I was receiving those anywhere from November to December, and they are for services rendered. So they would have been actioned in December or January had we had a board.
Okay, so maybe we need to get Jack Delapiano or someone from the school involved. What exactly triggered the need for the WB Mason furniture? It looks like it's a split leg table, a stool, some shipping, and a mobile cabinet.
Yeah, I think there was a second page on there with additional items as well. It's not $8,752 for 4 or 5 items. There was another list of items on a second page.
There's a second page. There's some AED stuff. It looks like a goggles, sanitizing cabinet, some shipping expenses. So we just need to know kind of what this is for, and what sort of the root cause of these items is.
All right, I will work on that for WD Mason.
All right, sounds good.
Alan, do you want Jack to explain it?
What's that?
Maybe Jack can explain it for us.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if you need me to jump in.
Yeah, go ahead, Jack. If you could give us kind of the background and the history on this this last WB Mason order that we're taking a look at now, that'd be very helpful.
Yeah, most of any request for new furniture comes from the increased enrollment. If you remember, we put a request in to meet the increased enrollment prior to the pandemic. All requests were put on hold based on the fact that the building was the anticipation was we had the cohorts, it was going to be at 50% capacity, but we're starting to run into some issues. We started to run into some issues with furniture capacity, additional science labs necessary to ensure that we have equipment and safety equipment for the kids and for the staff to use.
Hey, Jack.
Okay.
Dan,
Yes. Hi, Dan.
So I saw the AED in there. We didn't have a defibrillator already in the school?
Apparently there has to be each floor in various locations because we have 2 buildings as well, so there weren't enough in there.
And is everybody are all teachers certified with the use of an AED?
Not at this point.
Is it just the nurse?
No, I don't think there's actually a certification process for it. It's pretty.
Yeah, there is.
It talks. Oh, there is, because when I was told it talks you through the process, but no, we haven't had training for the entire staff. But that's something we'll have to look into then.
Dan, the medical people obviously are. Some teachers are. There are some teachers in the building that are EMTs outside of their schoolwork. All the coaches that are in the building are certified. So to answer your question, is not everybody is, but there are a pretty good handful of people that are, and they're kind of scattered out between the buildings. Like Jack said, we needed them on different floors and in different buildings.
Yeah, Dan, there's built-in cases for all of them, like in the cafeteria, on each of the floors, and they all didn't have an AED machine in them. Like they were designed that way, so I assume it was through the design phase. It's built to code.
I got it. I know, like in our business at our corporate headquarters, so there's a person that's assigned by floor, so there's no issue, which might be helpful for you guys to know exactly who can use it and who can't, because you can kill somebody by not using it properly.
Good point. Yeah, it's through the American Heart Association, so I'll look into that.
All right, this is Chris Fields. I'm jumping back in here. Our,
Okay, Chris.
I'm asking, are we moving on to item 7?
No, we're going to hold on for a second. I just want to see if there's any further questions, comments, or discussion on this item. I don't know if everybody's had a chance to read through the invoice, but yeah, on the second page, it looks like this AED unit came as like a package and included the cabinet, the wall sign, shipping, and everything came as a package for that.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Poisson. Is there a second?
Dan Senft, I'll second.
So,
Thanks, Danny. Hold on, let me catch up here. All right, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, hearing none, chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. As we move into item 7, which is the new business item, what I'd like to do is kind of take an item related to the flooring, which I know has been discussed multiple times. We have Brian LeClaire from the town attorney's office with us. Just in case anyone's not aware, basically one of the means of resolution for this is that the subcontractor through a bonding company has sort of offered, some warranty considerations and other considerations concerning the floor material, and that's been looked at by Attorney LeClaire. And at this point, I'll kind of turn him over to sort of have him walk us through our current status.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, it's Brian LeClaire from the Town Attorney's Office. Briefly, as you know, there was an issue regarding certain of the flooring in the building. There was a problem with the original contractor. The bond insurance company stepped in on the project, brought in a second contractor who completed the job. We're about 2 years into the flooring use in the building. There was a proposal with the bond insurance company for resolution of this matter. We've had some negotiations with counsel for the bond company. I've spoken to Mr. Casey and Mr. Kleps regarding this, and we have a resolution now, which I think the town should enter into. There would be a couple of components of it. First, a payment of $65,000 to the town of Stratford as a upfront cash payment. Second, as you may know, the carpet has a limited lifetime warranty from the manufacturer. The flooring has a manufacturer's warranty of 10 years. That's for materials. The insurance company will backstop that and act on our behalf in connection with any material claims with the manufacturers. If there's an installation issue, the original installation warranty was only 1 year from the date of completion, which would have passed a year or so ago. We've been able to negotiate an extended warranty on the second and third floors where we had the problems. As you know, the first floor was replaced. The second and third floors, a warranty on installation for 2 more years until December 31st of 2023, which in talking to our representatives, if we had a problem, we would have had the problem by now with more of these tiles. Mr. Kleps agrees with that resolution. So that's the direction we're heading, as a way to resolve this, is getting the cash payment and getting 2 more years on the installation warranty directly from the bond insurance company.
So just to make everything clear for everyone, Attorney LeClaire, thank you for being with us tonight and making this presentation. It would be your recommendation on behalf of the town attorney's office that this be accepted and that we get this implemented.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you very much. At this point, I'll open the floor up to any questions or other comments concerning this issue while we have Mr. LeClaire with us.
Mr. Chairman, I think that the committee had said that we were pretty much in favor of this, if I recall correctly, and we were just making sure that the town was okay with it, and that's why the town attorney was brought in. He toured the building with me. He's seen it firsthand. He's been doing all the dealings with the bond company and the council, like he said. So I think we should go ahead with it because we got the final okay, which is what we needed from Town Hall and the Town Attorney's Office.
Excellent, excellent. No, I appreciate that, Councilman Poisson. And again, thanks for joining us tonight, Attorney Leclerc. This does give us the kind of sort of last layer, added layer of sort of protection and advisement that we were looking for.
Correct.
So at this point,
and we were able to get an extra year on your warranty of installation, which gives you even more protection on wear and tear of this.
exactly, excellent. So at this point, I'll entertain a motion to approve the, we can just call it the flooring agreement and not have to get all the kind of the details and the particulars out there unless somebody feels that we should have them stated in the formal motion. But otherwise, I'll just entertain a motion to accept the offer from the flooring contractor.
Or authorize the Town Attorney's Office to proceed to resolve the matter as discussed.
Right. Excellent. Thank you, Attorney Leclerc. Appreciate the support. So is there a motion to accept as explained?
So moved, Dan Sempt.
Thank you, Dan Sempt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by
Jack
Mr. Delapiano. Any further comments, discussion concerning this item? All right, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Final thank you to you, Attorney Leclerc.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Chairman.
thank you. And then we'll move back into under item 7, the remainder of the new business items. Chris, we'll just kind of take these one at a time and work our way through the list. So our next item here is the Sonatrol application number 9.
All right, this pay-up is their final for the security system.
All right, and just so you can confirm this, kind of as I explain it, what this is their final bill for contract work, reduces their retainage to 0, and then after this, pending any final additions to the project, there'll be no further billing activity from Sonatrol for the Stratford High School project.
Looking over their pay-up while you're saying that, their balance to finish, including retainage, is 0 at this time.
Okay, so there's no change orders per se included in this item that before us. It's strictly to approve this as a final payment, reducing the retainage to 0.
That is correct.
All right, excellent. For purposes of discussion and moving things along, I'll entertain a motion to approve this item and send to building needs with favorable recommendation if required.
Dan Sempt. Thank you, Aileen.
Thank you, Mr. Sempt. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mr. Delapiano. Any questions, comments, concerns in reference to this item? All right, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Our next item is Sustainable Engineering Solutions. Their invoice number 3323 in the amount of $4,595.20. Chris, any explanation to go along with this item? It looks like the only thing on there is this building infrared scan and report.
Right, and this goes along with the meeting that we had in December, and I believe there will be one more after this. One more pay app to present at the next building committee for SES.
Okay, and so this item I'm not fully understanding why we're seeing this as a committee item right now. I don't believe we've seen all of these items contract billing as billed before from SES. So I'm just calling question to why this needs to get approved.
SES is a standalone owner's contract, and it's not, they're not a trade under the CM or anything. They're the commissioning agent. So we believe that it was to be presented to you all. And if we're out of sequence, then we can pull it. But this is an owner-held contract, so we were presenting it to you. This is when they did the review in December and their final assessment, that was the invoice for that. And like Chris said, I believe there's one more outstanding before we close out their contract.
All right, I don't remember ever approving individual SES requisitions for payment. I know when they've had change orders, we've reviewed and processed those, but Councilman Poisson, I see that you're unmuted.
Yeah, Doug and Chris, is this from the meeting we had in the main office conference room?
Yes, sir. The post occupancy assessment. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to say, John Casey here, that I had talked to Doug and I wanted to make sure that final payments on these contracts were coming to the committee so that, you know, we haven't authorized each individual payment under the contract, but I wanted to bring the final payments to the committee.
Understood, Mr. Casey. No, I appreciate us doing that. I think it's good that as we see the various consultants and sub-consultants do final billing and retainage gets reduced to zero, that we see the final set of numbers that they've billed for the whole project. I guess at this point, you know, the safe way to go, it seems like people have some background knowledge and history on what this is for. So again, they keep things moving forward. I'll entertain a motion to have this item be approved.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Councilman Poisson. Is there a second?
Dan Sempt, I'll second.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sempt. Are there any other questions, comments, concerns in regards to this item? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Our next item is the project adventure in the amount of $2,956 for custom training. Chris?
So I've been digging into Project Adventure quite a bit. This bill is for the training. I talked to Jacqueline today, the physical education teacher that is heading up the program, and this is part of the required training for Project Adventure to educate, train, and certify the staff on safety and use of the equipment.
Okay.
I'll make
again, for purposes. Okay, Councilman.
Motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
I'm sorry, who was that on the second?
Jack Delapiano.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Jack. Are there any comments, concerns, questions in regard to this item? All right, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Our next item is the Red Thread invoice in the amount of $51,026.99. Chris, again, kind of bring us through the background on this one.
Right. This total is for the amount for services provided for when they were doing their moving. I understand that there's some history here with Red Thread and some overtime. This invoice has nothing to do with that. I've been back and forth with Lisa Lisa from Antonazi and Mary from Red Thread and a few other people from the school and the town. And the only outstanding amount left is the actual invoice itself. As I understand it from everybody, that the invoice itself was not addressed previously.
Okay, Chris. So, just in very plain, kind of simple terms, what exactly is this for? Is this items that were originally included as part of the project, or is this quote unquote change order work / additional work?
So this was part of the original project. The only thing that would have been a change concerning Red Thread was their overtime that they were addressing previously. That is not what we were addressing tonight. Tonight is just the invoice for the original work.
Okay, so this essentially then is an approval for payment of work that they're performing as part of what they were contracted to do for the project originally.
Correct, and this work was performed last February, so 1 year ago this month.
Okay. Again, for purposes of discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve and send to the Building Needs Committee with favorable recommendation.
So moved, Dan Sempt.
Thank you, Mr. Sempt. Is there a second?
Second, Jack Delapiano.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, discussion concerning this payment?
Just want to make
All
sure
right.
we know this is consistent with the original scope of work, correct? Or for the material, correct? Doug or Chris?
The Red Thread invoice is, from everything that I've researched, consistent with them being a subcontractor to SVD as part of moving in and providing their services they were contracted for.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may ask,
Go ahead,
was this furniture provided for the Alpha Wing?
I personally am not sure exactly where it was provided, but it was part of the move.
Last February would have been just about when they were moving in the final part of the project, right, Jack?
Yes.
Hey, Chris, is this going to be the last payment then for them?
As far as I understand, once this is done, you'll go to a zero balance and you should never see their name again with this contract.
Okay. Any other questions on the Red Thread invoice? All right.
I just have one last one, Mr. Chairman. How come it took a year for this to materialize?
That's a good question. I've been looking into this for the last month, and I believe the original delay was because they presented their overtime in front of presenting the invoice. So now the situation is resolved down to just presenting the invoice.
I think that's why I asked the question before. So was this invoice just generated with that date on it, or did we actually see an invoice from February of last year?
When I received this invoice, it was dated with previous communication from around that time last year. So this is not something that was generated within the last month, as far as I know.
Okay.
So yeah, the paperwork has an invoice number and an invoice date of 2/26/21. So it looks like this is just a matter of getting this untangled from the other pieces so it can be processed.
Correct. As far as I understand it, I agree with you.
Yeah. And the only reason why I question, I didn't think there was anything nefarious with the invoice, but we did run into problems with them with the original billing, so on their workmanship. So it's the only reason why I questioned it.
All right, any other final questions before we go to vote on this matter? All right, all those in favor of acceptance signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. That brings us to the last item under new business, which is building plaques. I think sort of this has been talked about kind of repeatedly. I think we're down to a final format and our position of looking to accept this. Councilman Poisson, thanks for your help in getting this together. I know from having parts of it myself, it was a little bit of a tangled web to sort of figure out who was positioned where when. The project's been going on for 7 or 8 years now through multiple iterations of town council, board of education, as well as our own, building needs committee and such. Councilman Poisson, anything you want to add at this point in regards to the plaques?
Yeah, if everybody hasn't seen it, I was going to email it right now. I just emailed it to Doug and Chris and Alan before. I'll send it right now. If your name is, we've tried to ask everybody how they wanted their name spelled. Like I want Ken, even though my name is Kenneth. Some people want Dan, Daniel, Tim, Timmy. We've tried to go the best we can. Like Alan said, this was not as easy as we all thought it was. So I'm just in the midst of sending the link for it right now to everybody.
Can you take Jack's picture off of that?
And is it easier? Do you want me to make you a presenter so you could share your screen?
No, I'm just going to email it right now, and we could do that too. This is not something that if your name is spelled wrong, you could always email me. It's not like Turner's going to make the plaque tonight. All right, so let me do this because I'm on my desktop and my laptop at the same time. So hold on. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously the top is the mayor's, pretty simple. Then the town council, the chairpersons of each committee have the asterisk with them, and everything is in alphabetical order by last name. The Board of Ed was next, starting with the superintendent, and then the people that were on the Board of Eds, and again, chairpersons with asterisk. And then the Building Needs Committee and the Stratford High Subcommittee. And I'll put it back on that. And then at the bottom is the Town Seal and Crack and Antonazzi and Turner. Anything missing, anything wrong? Anybody need a name change?
I think we're looking good on this one, Councilman Poisson. Do we need to take a motion on this and send this through to building needs and/or to town council, or is this more of an informational item?
As far as I know, and Doug and Chris can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was this committee, and then everything from this committee has to go to building needs. I think that whoever makes the motion can just say contingent upon the mayor's approval, because she has been in the loop, and she did not respond to my email today because, you know, she has a million things on her plate. So I think whoever makes the motion, just say contingent upon the mayor's final approval also. You know, we'll approve it, she'll approve it, and then we're all good to go.
I'll make that motion based on the mayor's approval.
All right, thank you, Mr. Semp. Is there a second? And I'll second this myself as chair. Again, Ken, thank you for the time and effort you put into this. Again, also thanks for the reminder, you know, that the mayor's been involved in this process as well, and that this will get approved from our committee, and I'm sure building needs as well, to be contingent upon mayor's approval. Any further questions, comments in regards to the building plaque? All right, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Is there any other new business to be discussed? Okay, seeing none. Oh, sorry, Doug? No?
Alan, when the mayor does approve that, please have somebody notify us, because we're not going to have any way to know that until somebody lets us know, and then we will let Turner and Antonazzi know so that they can produce the plaques and get them installed.
All right, sounds excellent. I'll be sure to do that. Hopefully that happens before our next regular meeting. Incidentally, that's our next item on the agenda. So again, just keep moving things forward. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for Monday, March 7th at 5:30 p.m. If needed, a special meeting would be not exactly 2 weeks from tonight, but would be 2 weeks and a day because of the holiday. So that would make our special meeting date, if needed, would be February 22nd, again at 5:30. Under item 9, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Alan, one last thing.
Sorry, go ahead, Councilman Poisson.
Aileen just did a tiny little boo-boo as she took me off from being the presenter. She booted me out of the meeting. So I missed what Doug just said there. If you wouldn't mind repeating it.
Oh, he was just saying that when we get the notification that the plaque has been accepted and approved by the mayor, that we give a notification for him so that he can proceed with directing Turner to move forward with obtaining the plaques.
Right. As soon as the mayor lets me know, I will let Doug and Chris know. And Alan, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Poisson. So we're on to item 9, looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Dan Sempt.
Thank you, Mr. Sempt. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Poisson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Chair votes aye, and we are off the clock at 6:21 p.m.
As if you're on building needs, please stay on. We're going to start as soon as Aileen tells me we're good to go with quorum.
Yeah, if we could do this fast, Kenny, I got a 6:30 conference call, so.
I have to go work a basketball game myself. So you know me, Dan.
Chairman Poisson, you're good to go.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call the Building Needs Committee of February 7th, 2022 to order at 6:21 p.m. My name is Ken Poisson, 6th District Councilman and Chairman of the Building Needs Committee. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from December and January.
So moved, Dan Sempt.
There's a second.
Second,
Alan
Ron
Llewellyn,
Siggy.
second. Go ahead, Ron.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Any opposed? The chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Item 3 is ongoing items. 3A is Board of Ed buildings. A1 is the Stratford High Renovation Subcommittee. I'll turn it over to Chairman Llewellyn. And we were all just on this call. So Alan, what do we need to approve?
Okay, so just going through the approvals. The first item that we approved was a recommend the acceptance of the Sonatrol application number 9 in the amount of $68,022.78, and if needed, sent to Town Council with favorable recommendation. This is for Sonatrol's final application of payment for the Stratford High School project.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next.
So our next item, I'll take care of the two big items that need to go to Town Council with favorable recommendation. I would recommend that we send to Town Council red thread invoice number 854608 in the amount of $51,026.99. This is also a final payment for red thread, so there'll be no more billing from them for the Stratford High School project.
Is there a second?
Second, Ron Ticky.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next.
I would move that we accept in the amount of $8,752 a WB Mason invoice for furniture that was largely related to additional students, an AED, and some goggles for the science rooms.
Is there a second?
Second, Ron Ticky.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next.
All right, two more. Next one is from the Commissioning Consultants, Sustainable Engineering Solutions. This is their invoice number 3323 in the amount of $4,595.20. I would move that we accept this item.
Second, Dan Senft.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next.
Last item, I would move that we accept in the amount of $2,956 an invoice from Project Adventure for custom training.
Second, Ron Ticky.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next.
So the last two items, I believe, really quickly, is that we've decided, contingent upon mayor's approval, to accept the layout and the names as listed on the building plaques. And under advice from the town attorney's office, we have decided to accept the offer from the bonding company for the status on the flooring in the classroom building. Pending questions, that concludes my report for the evening, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Alan, I think just to make this official, we should approve the floor bonding based on the town attorney's report. If someone can make that motion.
I'll make that motion to accept as discussed with the town attorney and under guidance of town attorney to accept the offer with regards to the flooring via the bonding company.
Right, and Aileen, just make sure it's worded like it was for the Stratford High Committee. That was a second, Mr.
I'll
Seth?
second. Yep.
Okay, any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. As for the plaque, I just emailed it out to everybody. I forgot to change the subject lines, so the email you just got from me has the plaque, just the names and everything. Aileen, am I still sharing my screen? Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so everybody has it in front of you. That's the Building Needs Committee and the Stratford High. Up top was the Town Council and the Board of Ed. If your name is spelled wrong, if you want Dan, Danny, Ken, Kenneth, Kenny, whatever you like, we tried to check with everybody. If you have any corrections or anything, you can just shoot me a quick email. And Mr. Chairman, Alan, Chairman of the Stratford High Committee, I think we should make a motion to accept the plaque layout also, just like we did at Stratford High, again, contingent upon the mayor's final approval, because she has not seen this final version yet. She hasn't emailed me back.
Will do that. I'll make a motion that we, contingent upon the mayor's approval, that we accept the layout format of the building plaques as presented at the Stratford High School renovation subcommittee meeting.
Is there a second?
Ron Ticky.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Is that it, Alan?
Yeah, that concludes my report for this evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Item 3A2 is open work orders that were emailed out to all of us ahead of time to help streamline the meeting. Does anybody have any questions for Rich or Dan on Board of Ed buildings? Okay, hearing no, move on to item 3B, which is general town buildings. The open work orders and building repairs list was also emailed out to us ahead of time by Dan to help streamline the meeting. Does anybody have any questions for Dan on town buildings? Okay, item B2 is Booth Park. Dan, is there any updates on Booth Park?
The only thing we have, we're just waiting to get that stained glass window back for the clock tower, and they're working on it. They're not done yet. And we've just been doing some heating repairs at the homestead, and that's pretty much it. It's kind of quiet up there this time of year.
All righty, Dan, as always, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Dan in general? Hey, item 4 is new business. Does anybody have any new business? Hey, item 5 is date of our next regular meeting. We're back to the regular schedule, first Monday. We'll start as soon as the Stratford High meeting is done. They start at 5:30. Hopefully those meetings are getting shorter and shorter as we move towards closeout, which was discussed in the Stratford High meeting. We're looking at a July or August timeline to do the final closeout of the Stratford High project. That started way back in 2014, as some of us have been on that committee since 2014, 7 years. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, before we adjourn, just one quick message. Is this going to be virtual or face-to-face for the next meeting?
As of right now, it's still virtual unless the governor's orders change or unless the numbers drop. We're always, whatever's going on at that point in time, Dan. I would like to, I stated before, I'd like to get back to move towards getting back to in person, but we're just doing, the right thing, the safe thing.
Do we have the capabilities to do both? I think that's the question, especially with travel sometimes.
Not at this time. No, we were trying that, even at the town council level, we're trying that, and we don't have the capabilities to do that at this moment.
Okay, thank you.
And you're ending that with a motion to adjourn, Dan?
Absolutely.
I'll take a second.
Ron Ticky.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And before we adjourn, I'd just like to thank everybody for your time and service. The chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. We are adjourned at 6:31 p.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, everyone.